Well, without further ado, I would like us to start, and we'll begin by looking at the screen. There's a Super 8 tournament. We all know about Super 8 tournament. It's been there for 9 editions, way back. Tulianza kitambo sana, 2004. I remember that time we're doing a 7-a-side tournament. Then we went to the finals at Nyayo. Teams complained, bono natupatia 7-a-side. We're not used to such things. Tunataka kucheza full game. Then Hussein obliged and said, okay, what you want, we'll give it to you. So without further ado, let's look at what Super 8 has been all about in a very short documentary that will be played just now.
The Super 8 soccer tournament has grown in leaps and bounds since its inaugural edition in 2005.
After Kenya's participation in the 2004 World Cup in Tunisia, many fans hoped that it was the dawn of the new era in soccer. A new page opened in the soccer chapter in the country. But since then, the standards of the game have sunk to the lowest level. Empty stadiums and wrangles have dominated the soccer scene. Something urgent was needed to lift the stage of the game.
The concept basically is to invite teams from all the 8 constituencies in Nairobi to participate in this event. It is to create a platform where the youth can showcase their talent.
Managed by Extreme Sports Limited, each subsequent edition of the tournament captured the attention of clubs in Nairobi and its environs as its popularity grew. Many young and talented players finally had the competitive platform to showcase their talent. Challenges within the football fraternity after the 2011 football elections led to a 4-year hiatus. But as the saying goes, you can't keep a good thing down, and the tournament was back with a bang with Sportpesa as the title sponsors. The Sportpesa Super 8 Soccer Tournament 9th edition that officially kicked off in April 2015 saw the highest number of clubs registering as participants. 102 clubs from all 8 regions of Nairobi, which constituted Embakasi, Kasarani, Kamukunji and Makadara in the east, and Langata, Starehe, Westlands and Dagoretti in the west. With the tagline Wakilisha Mtaa Yako, regional preliminaries proved that the quality of games would live to expectations. Teams divided into east and west of Nairobi battled it out for the honor to represent their neighborhoods in the grand finale. The regional finals were held at the City Stadium courtesy of the Nairobi County Government through the office of the Deputy Governor Jonathan Mweke. Through the personality's social media following and the presence of hashtag Wakilisha Mtaa Yako, hashtag SPS8 and hashtag East vs West became trends regularly as the grand finale drew closer. Finalists Kiambu Youth and Technical University of Kenya, commonly referred to as TUK, met at the Nyayo National Stadium on the 30th of August in what many have christened as the best grassroots final of all time. The occasion was graced by the chief guest, the Cabinet Secretary of Sports, Culture and the Arts, Dr. Hassan Wario, Member of Parliament Kamkunji Constituency, Honorable Yusuf Hassan, former Nairobi Mayor, Honorable Dick Wadhika, and Dagoretti South Member of Parliament, Dennis Waweru, among the political figures who came to witness the Technical University of Kenya lift the Sportpesa Super 8 trophy. The just concluded edition has seen all the 102 participating clubs fully kitted and getting official branded footballs. This meant that all the clubs are already winners. The 32 teams shared a total prize money kitty of 1.43 million Kenya shillings, with the overall winner taking home $500,000 Kenya shillings, runners-up getting $250,000 Kenya shillings, and third place getting 100,000 Kenya shillings. We thank you all for your invaluable support and giving our youth a sporting chance.
Well, if you thought you've seen something, wait for what is coming up. That is the old Super 8. The new one is coming soon. What was not captured there so much is the type of players that have been in Super 8. I remember one Wycliffe Kasaya, Jericho All Stars. Watu wa Jerry wako wapi? Mumpewa development fund? Bado. Mimi nafuatilia hiyo. Watu wa KPL ndio wapatie hiyo pesa. Rachier is here. Should give you that money. Kasaya came from Jericho All-Stars, played in Super 8, Extreme Super 8 those days. And we know where he's gone to. Jerry Santos from Dandora is another story. Innocent Mutiso in the house. Karibu sana mzee. That's another story. So to give you those testimonies, Innocent Mutiso will come up and will give you his personal experience with Super 8, what the tournament has done for him, and what he thinks we should do moving forward. Karibu Innocent.
Guest of honor, Nairobi Deputy County Governor, our esteemed partners, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As an ambassador of Super 8, I am honored to be part of this great occasion. Since the first edition of Super 8 11 years ago, I've seen the tournament grow in leaps and bounds. I played in the first and the second edition, 2004 and 2005, where I was in the finals with Huruma Youth. And from there, I was spotted by Mathare Youth Sports Association, and I was enrolled in the academy. From there on, I graduated to Mathare United, the senior team, where in 2008, we won the Kenya Premier League for the first time in 20 years. And thereon, I was the captain of the youth team, Harambee Stars, in 2010. And after that, I went to Gor Mahia, where I won the Kenya Premier League with them first time in 18 years. The chairman is here, Mr. Ambrose Rachier. Thank you very much for that honor. For 2 years, we defended the title. And after that, I got elected as the chairman of the Footballers Union in Kenya. And Super 8 has really helped me to grow as a person and offer me a valuable platform to showcase my talent, of which you've heard my testimonial, what I've said, the things I have achieved. And Super 8, the first edition, it was a great platform, and I thank Hussein for that dream. And my dream has come true from all that has happened. These tournaments have been like an appreciation for the talents in Nairobi, and many youths have really benefited from it. It has kept them from vices like drugs and crime. And for me, I come from Huruma, and it has really kept me from all those vices. And I've seen youths who have died and their lives wasted, but the people who took Super 8 or who took football to another new level have really grown the tournaments. And with the added sponsorship for today, football as a sport will now be transformed into a commercial viable industry, creating thousands of employment opportunities for the youth and driving Kenya closer to achieving this Vision 2030 mandate. I would also like to request the players in the industry to work together to avoid the usual wrangles, which are detriment to the growth of football and sports in Kenya. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for your continued support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Innocent. Short and precise. Tuko napigana na Hussein tukianza. Namwambia starehe haijai kuwa West. Haiwezi. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this tournament is all about East versus West. It's always been wakilisha mtaa yako. So to take you through, Innocent has let the cat out of the bag just a little bit, just the head, not the whole cat, when he said we are doing some transformation of the tournament. So we're going to 3 tiers, like Innocent has touched on, and there are many other changes and good things to come. Employment opportunities, more games for the players, more opportunities to make more money. All that will be presented by Hussein. I hope you'll be patient enough to go through this very exciting presentation. It will take a short while, like Innocent has, maybe double that time, but at the end of it all, we should be able to have a lot of questions, but good questions out of it. Hussein.
Our guest of honor, His Excellency Deputy Governor Jonathan Mweke, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, hamjambo. Hamjambo, jama. I'd like to first and foremost just recognize, I know we usually thank our partners at the end, but there's some people I want to show special appreciation to before I go into this presentation, because the next level was made possible by them. First and foremost, Sportpesa for believing in us. Thank you very much, and thank you for your continued support. I've had some friends that I approached, and without even any hesitation, without any presentations, any explanations, said, we know you, we believe in you, we've seen what you've done, we'll support you. Thank you so much, Sarah, Protel Studios, for believing in us. Thank you, Homeboys Radio, Ghetto Radio, Safaricom. Safaricom were actually our first sponsors when we launched the first edition of the Super 8 Soccer Tournament 10 years ago. Thank you to the Ministry of Sports, Culture and the Arts for all the support. Nairobi County, Jonathan, you've been a great supporter of the tournament and a great friend. Thank you so much for all the support that you've given this tournament. And as we transition into the league, we're looking forward to more support. I also want to thank all the participating clubs. I know you've been under pressure. I know you've been threatened every so often. And I want to say thank you for sticking with us. And thank you so much for also enabling us to realize this vision. So give yourselves a round of applause, all the clubs that are participating. I also wish to thank my team at Extreme Sports and the team at Sportpesa. The guys who are the grind every day up to midnight. They don't sleep over the weekends. We don't get to see them on these podiums, but wherever you are, I want to assure you that we appreciate all the hard work. Members of the Fourth Estate, the media, Mike and his team. Particularly, I want to thank Seth Olale, Nation TV. I want to thank Eric Ochieng from The Standard, Mike Okinyi, and all the others who supported us. The people who are here, Kamweru and so on. Thank you so much, guys. Members of the Fourth Estate, you've really made this tournament what it is as well. The tournament will basically have 3 tiers. And what is the concept? The title sponsors today will have the naming rights of all the 3 tiers. The participating clubs are the clubs that were in the last tournament. It will be played in Nairobi County, and it will be called the Super 8. The main one will be called the Super 8 Premier League. So the first tier will have the Super 8 Premier League. We will have the second tier, which will be the Super 8 Division 1. And the third tier will be the Super 8 Soccer Tournament. So the tournament now has 2 big brothers, Division 1 and the Premier League. So you start from the tournament and you graduate to Division 1 and then graduate to the Premier League. So Tier 1 will have the Super 8 Premier League, which will now be called the Sportpesa Super 8 Premier League. It will have 16 teams. These were the teams that were number 1 and 2 in the 9th edition of the Sportpesa Super 8 Soccer Tournament. 8 teams from east of Nairobi, which is called the Eastern Conference, and 8 teams from the west of Nairobi. So the games will be played on home and away format. Points will be pooled in respective conferences, which means you will have 16 teams playing a normal league, but the points will be ranked within your conference. So you could be number 2 in the scheme of things, but you could be number 1 in your conference. So you are ranked within your conference, but we have a 1 unified league. And all the teams will play each other home and away. We have then 3 teams from the Premier League will be relegated at the end of the league. We expect to engage 400 players directly. And we will have, in this particular league, about 488 games to be played. The winners of this league will pocket 1 million shillings in cash, runners-up 500,000, and third place 250,000. All teams in this league will get a monthly remuneration of 10,000 shillings a month. We are setting a new precedence in how clubs need to manage themselves. I think this is a first. Nobody has ever done this, apart from the Kenya Premier League maybe, but we want also to bring the same, and we've borrowed from the big brothers to be able to bring professionalism and a revenue stream as well to the clubs at the grassroots level. There's no reason why they should not be able to earn a monthly income, and this is just to set the stage for them to be able to generate revenues on their own. Teams will be provided with 2 sets of uniforms during the league, 1 set at the beginning and 1 in the middle of in mid-season. The Super 8 Premier League teams. So we have from Westside, TUK, Kiamaiko, Kawangware, Melta Kabiria, Diguna FC, Ajax, Kabete United, and Shamako Babes. From Eastlands, we have Kiambu Youth, Shorimoyo Blue Stars, Masa, Jericho All Stars, Babadogo United, Metro FC, Kayole Asubuhi, and Kayole Youth. All these teams have got massive following at the grassroots. We want to provide an entertainment platform, not only for, it's not an opportunity for the players alone, but also for their families and friends and for our society at large. It's a social event, so we hope families will be able to come and enjoy these games as they take place at the grassroots level. At the second tier, which is Division 1, you have 16 teams, which were third and fourth in the tournament. The teams are again from East and West conferences. Games will be played home and away, same format. In this particular division, 3 teams will be will be promoted to the Super 8 Premier League. 4 teams will be relegated to the tournament. The reason we've done this is we'll have a lot of teams at the tournament level trying to come up into the league. So we have 4 teams to be relegated and 4 teams will be promoted from the tournament to Division 1. We have a total of 488 games that will be played during the season. The winner in this particular division will go home with $500,000, runner-up 250,000, third place 100,000. Teams will be provided with a set of uniform and they will get a monthly stipend or remuneration of about 5,000 shillings per month. Who are the teams in Division 1? From Eastlands, you've got Zamalek FC, Githurai Sportif, Naibis, Bahati United, Macmillan, Tena Youth, Angola, and Shaurimoyo United. From west side of Nairobi, you have Leeds United, Raisa United, Park Road FC, Umeme Sports, Yes We Can, Riruta Muslims, Riara University, and Rongai All Stars. The third tier, which is the Super 8 soccer tournament. Everybody's familiar with this particular one, so we don't need to spend a lot of time on it. It'll have an unlimited number of teams. It'll be played 3 months. It'll start 3 months towards the end of the league. All the games will be played simultaneously, which means that we will know who's been promoted and who's been relegated at the same time. So the tournament will take place at the tail end of the 2 leagues. We expect maybe 100 to 200 football clubs maybe to register for this. It will be knockouts, and the 4 top teams will be promoted to Division 1. We expect to engage about 2,500 football players, and we expect in total we expect to play about 1,080 matches during the season. Relegations and promotions will happen simultaneously, like I said. So this is the league structure, and we are hoping that with the number of games that we are going to play, the excitement and the fan base will keep growing within different communities. We expect to have a total of about 24 games per week. So our games will predominantly be played on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. What are the benefits to the clubs? There's opportunity for talent exposure. We'll do a lot of capacity building. Already we've started something with Junior Achievement, who are our partners, and I wish to thank Junior Achievement for their input. We are going to train all the clubs on financial management skills and life skills. We are, of course, going to expose now our grassroots players to better facilities across the county. We, of course, are giving these teams and their management an opportunity to participate in a professionally run league. And for the first time, the direct remuneration sets the precedence that others will follow, which will only mean better things for all the clubs. Then we expect that our teams and our players will act as a feeder to KPL and to other leagues across the region and even internationally. So this will be, as they say, a hotbed of talent in Kenya. So I'm sure a good number of the players from this season will find their way to KPL, eventually KPL teams. This also provides an opportunity for clubs to be able to source for endorsements and sponsorship opportunities. Of course, with visibility, with prominence, and with good coverage, you will attract, and we will all attract, more support and more sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have much. I told you it's going to be brief. That's it. I just want to make a few remarks about the way forward. I know there'll be a lot of questions, and there'll be a lot of issues raised about running parallel leagues, about the Football Federation, but our focus really is not politics. And I've said this before, when we started the 9th edition, everybody thought, oh, Hussein is doing this because he wants to run for office. I think I've made it clear that I'm not running for any office this time. So there's no other agenda other than ensuring that we have a professionally run league in Nairobi. It's not there. It's not there anywhere in Kenya. With those remarks, I say thank you very much, and I want to welcome a representative from Sportpesa to speak to us. Asanteni sana. Thank you. Ronald Karauri, CEO Sportpesa, karibu boss.
Guest of honor, Deputy Governor of Nairobi, Jonathan Mweke, and CEO of Extreme Sports, Mr. Hussein Mohammed, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you here today on behalf of Sportpesa in the unveiling of the Sportpesa Super 8 League. Sportpesa is Kenya's own continent-leading sports betting platform and official sponsor of the Sportpesa Premier League. May I start by saying that we at Sportpesa understand the crucial role that grassroots football has to play in Kenya. Grassroots is the backbone of the game and key to the success of any football nation. As has been demonstrated countless times before, it also plays an important role as an educational social vehicle, and a successful program ensures our youth are continuously engaged and therefore play a more constructive role in society. It goes without saying that there is a huge football talent in Kenya, and I believe it is our duty as Kenyans to ensure that it is nurtured and developed so that the country as a whole can reap from its economical, health, and social benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, I reiterate that at Sportpesa, our sights are trained on the 2022 World Cup. To make this a reality, grassroots football cannot be ignored as it forms the foundation for the country's football plans. The 2015 edition of the Sportpesa Super 8 tournament was a huge success and has now given birth to the Sportpesa Super 8 League. This format, as has been presented by the Extreme Sports CEO, Mr. Hussein Mohammed, will ensure there is a continuous source of talent to feed the top-tier leagues and the Kenyan national team. The format also ensures a more sustained support structure for the youth as they shall be engaged throughout the year. At Sportpesa, we recognize the need to build a great national Premier League to ensure that these young players stay inspired to play the great game. Ladies and gentlemen, Sportpesa has made big commitments towards developing football in Kenya. I want to assure all other private sector corporates that these expensive investments are well worth it. The future of sporting in Kenya is very bright, and this is an opportunity to make a lasting impression on the lives of people and significantly improve the lives of thousands by ensuring sport becomes a livelihood provider for many families in the country. No one should shy away from football because today's event is proof that alternative platforms can be used to deliver the dreams to our youth. Private sector involvement is key, and we should not shy away from investing in the future of Kenya. In the same breath, the government must play its part in ensuring sporting management, practices and programs are streamlined as this is necessary if the country is to reap the economical and social benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, today we as Sportpesa have reaffirmed our belief in the future of football in Kenya and our trust in the youth to deliver on the dreams of every Kenyan who sees us succeeding on the world stage. In closing, I wish to thank all of you who found time to grace this occasion Thank you all for being with us and supporting our joint endeavor. Asanteni.
Our guest of honor, His Excellency Deputy Governor for Nairobi, tunaomba tuzungumzie tafadhali.
Extreme Sports CEO Hussein Mohammed, Sportpesa, Ronald and your team, my colleagues, I'm here joined with the Chief Officer Andrew Mwanthi of Youth, Sports, Education, Social Services, Mr. Baraza there, who's in charge of sports in the county. I'd like to thank my old friend Hussein for starting this Sportpesa Super 8 League in Nairobi. He could have done it in any other county, but he believed that there's a lot of young people in this county that can be impacted on their lives, and that's why he's gone out of his way to go and look for friends and partners to ensure that we can uplift the lives of young people in this county. Which one of us has picked a cause and run with it through thick and thin for 10 years? Which one of us starts things that are going to outgrow them, things that they're going to leave behind long after they're gone? That is leadership. We've seen that 2,500 plus individuals are going to be impacted by the launch that we're doing here today. What this means is these are more people now that you don't have to worry about coming to steal from you and your families. These are people that you now don't have to worry about paying for through your taxes to be in jail. These are now more people who can come into our tax bracket and help build our nation. So Hussein, I know you've spoken about politics and FKF and other football management, but myself, I don't see any politics in this. This is just somebody who's come out, taken some serious leadership and said, I'm not going to sit back and watch from the sidelines, but I'm going to do something to help the society that lives around us. And for that, I'm grateful. Nairobi County helped sponsor in its own way the Super 8 tournament of last year, and we are proud as a county to be associated with this initiative. And this year we've agreed that we're going to waive 1.2 million shillings of the fees you'd otherwise have paid to City Stadium to ensure that we also do our contribution as a county into the growth of the people that were elected to serve. We know we have Nyayo Stadium, we have Kasarani Stadium, and we have the City Stadium. There's also 8 other playing fields that we want to make available to grassroots football, like Sportpesa Super 8. We are starting with Joseph Kang'ethe, which is on the west side of Nairobi, where this year, Mr. Mwanthi and his team are going to be working on rehabilitating it and putting together a mini stadium where some of our grassroots teams can also begin to hold their games. There's Jericho, there's Dandora, there's Kaloleni, there's Shaurimoyo, there's Pumwani, that we're also going to begin to look at so that we can expand the areas where our children and those with talents can be able to spend their time and make something out of their lives. So our contribution to sports this year will be that, apart from promoting teams, both individually and as youth groups. We look forward to continue working with the private sector, the way we are working with Sportpesa Super 8. I know there's a lot of good people amongst us who want to make a difference. I want to let you know here that my office, our offices are open to such ideas, and we have all the time to ensure that we finally, as government, get to do something that benefits the young people of this country. I keep saying it was not a mistake that when Obama came, he asked to meet with the youth. It was not a mistake when the Pope came saying he wanted to meet with the youth. We've just reached a point in the world, globally, that unless you pay attention to the youth, you're finished. You're completely dead. Your business won't survive. Your government will collapse. It's time now that we as leaders begin to fit into the schedules, into the wants, into the needs of the young people. Because there's a youth bulge globally, and the young people are the ones who are running the show. And anybody who does not realize that today is completely finished. Because that's all we have to serve, and those are the people now who are going to ensure that our societies, our economies, and our lives progress to the next level as we build a global world. So I congratulate all those who've made this possible. I'd like to wish you well as you continue, and I'd like to pass my biggest compliments to all the good things you're doing to ensure that we are moving forward and not moving backward. And you do this by taking initiative. Have a good year ahead. Be assured of my greatest support now going forward. And may God bless you all. Santeni sana.
Remember we said we've got 3 tiers of the competition now. There's the Premier League, Division 1 and the tournament. We need to see how they look in terms of the logos before we proceed. For that, the logos.
Now unveiling the new Sportpesa Super 8 tournament logo. Now unveiling the new Sportpesa Super 8 Division 1 League logo. Now unveiling the new Sportpesa Super 8 Premier League logo.
I knew this was a question that was going to be asked so many times, and Mike is one of the people who gave me the most headache when we were sponsoring the Sportpesa Premier League. So this check now will be visible to everyone. There'll be no more debate, and I'm pleased to announce the amount, which will be 35 million shillings.
So Sportpesa, it's my humble request, if you can come by so that we can talk with our sector of sports in the county, and you partner with Nairobi County. Would like to see the city stadium rebranded as Sportpesa County Stadium. So we are looking forward. We are looking forward to another ceremony like this in about a week or 2, where this time I'll be the one receiving the check. Asanteni sana, Michael.
Haya, baba amesema. Na mkimnyima mnajua vile kutafanyika. Well, Q&A session. I'd request that you put up your hand, wherever you are, then introduce yourself and address your question to either Hussein or Ronald on stage.
My name is Seth Olale. I represent NTV. My question would be, the fixtures that have come for all those, leagues and divisions, and are they considering the calendar of the national team? I just want to know if, it has the national team, the fixtures, the calendar in the CAF and its preparations, have they been factored in so that there is not going to be a clash?
The Extreme Sports Management team has factored in, of course, all the holidays, also the national teams engagement, although, for the national team is not that much, but also we factored in the Kenya Premier League, and the fact that we are sharing the same title sponsors and our relationship over the years, we have absolutely no issues in synchronizing our calendar. So that has been factored in, but also the venues that we are going to use are quite different from the venues that will be used by the national team and the Kenya Premier League team. But whenever our national team will be having a game as a sign of support to the national team, Extreme Sports will not be having any games going on during that fixture.
Thank you. My second question goes to the Deputy Governor. Yeah, we welcome, the waiver at City Stadium, but also have, other stadia that are directly under the county government, but some of them have not, really experienced a facelift. I'll talk about where I come from, the Woodley grounds, in Kibera, and I'll talk about Ziwani Umeme, maybe, and others, apart from maybe the City Stadium, because the fixtures that are going to take place are also going to go in Mashinani. So what is the county government doing to ensure that, it's not only City Stadium, but also have other stadia, Mitaani, experiencing some refurbishment?
I spoke a little bit about that when I gave my little speech. And I said we have earmarked, apart from City Stadium, which is the largest county-owned stadium, we have earmarked about 6 other fields that are in actually quite bad shape to refurbish and turn them into stadiums. And these are grassroots stadiums inside the MTAs. So we realized that this is a grassroots league. And even before this grassroots league came up, our young boys and girls have been playing their football in public spaces, sometimes even making makeshift goalposts. And those are the things that we're going to focus on this year. My personal goal as Deputy Governor for Nairobi this year is on the youth agenda. I'll spend most of my time focusing on the young people of Nairobi this year. So those are some of the initiatives that I'm going to be spending most of my time ensuring that they get done. The social halls, the football fields, entrepreneurship initiatives, so that we can train people on how to do their business, how to fund their business, how to get government tenders, and so on and so forth. So I'm really focused on this youth agenda because it's the catalyst for development in our country today. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank our guest of honor for gracing this occasion and all of you for turning up. Tuko na chai hapo nyuma, and all those who have questions like GMT, feel free. And thank you very much for coming up today. Thank you.
Name's Captain Ronald Karauri, CEO of Sportpesa. Initially, it was just we had the same, dream with Hussein about grassroots football. And following the success of the Super 8 tournament, we believed in him, but now the success speaks for itself. So following the success of the Super 8 tournament, we entered discussions about a league, which is what now we are launching. Our sponsorship is not just handing a check or giving money. We are directly involved in ensuring the spectators come to the stadium. In fact, the kit, we also sponsored it. It's not part of the sponsorship amount. So we ensure we are actively involved. Even throughout the season, we'll be having meetings with Hussein and the team to see the progress of the league, to ensure it's a success. It's not just a matter of handing out money and hoping that it works. So our direct involvement makes a very big difference, as can be seen from the Premier League.
We've decided to move to a league system after running a tournament for more than 10 years now. It is a natural progression for us. The tournament had to grow, and what better way than to make it into a fully fledged league. In every organization, the most important thing is to get the right people to do the right, to be in the right positions and to do the right thing. We've invested heavily in capacity building. We've got a very professional team behind the league, experienced individuals who've been with the concept since its inception, majority of whom understand how grassroots football works This is our biggest asset, and we have invested a lot of time and a lot of resources in realizing this opportunity. So we are very confident that they will they will be able to execute accordingly. This being the inaugural league, we expect that it will take time to peak, but again, the brand is a popular brand, so the challenges would not be as big as starting a whole new system or structure. So we do realize that there will be teething problems, like every other institution experiences whenever they launch something new. However, we've got an experienced team behind it. We've got very dedicated partners, Sportpesa, who are willing to put in more than just money in terms of realizing the dream.
Shifting into 3 tiers means that there's more competition, number 1, there's more players involved, number 2, and there are more teams that get opportunities to play. You realize that Nairobi has got very few leagues, and people don't get the opportunity to play so much. There are teams that are there, but they're dormant. They don't have a place to play. When they're knocked out of the playoffs to join a league, they have got no any other place to play except the estate tournaments. So with the Super 8 and the Division 1 and the Premier League, it means more teams will have more time to play, and 2,500 players involved. That's not a small number, it's huge.
I'd just like to encourage the upcoming footballers to enroll themselves with teams in the Super 8 League. If they don't have, if they don't have a chance in the competitive leagues in FKF and also the KPL, if they can't get access to the other teams, they should go to the Super 8 teams, because I know it will also give them much exposure, and they will go to the big leagues.